What's going on, guys? This is Kaishro. Welcome back. So we are back to another video. On this video, we're going to cover on Crown Kings local metagame report that will cover tournament results and decklist reviews. For the past 2 weeks, we have May 1 to May 14. So a 2 week span of tournament data and decklist reviews. So without further ado, let's start. Coming at first, we have Dava Yu-Gi-Oh! Ranking Tournament. We have first place here, Ad Ice Performapal. So this is very different from the usual Pendulum Magician with Supreme King and Z-Arc, no? So this list focuses on Performapal to start his place and also the Ad Ice to procure his board. So this is a very interesting build from El Junmer Paimalan. So there's a bunch of one-offs on the side deck, and he has toolbox of Ad Ice on his side deck, and this is very interesting considering that he got first place on this tournament. And yeah, there's a lot of variety on this list, and I think it's definitely difficult to stop this deck from playing because you don't know the choke points of this deck, and it's really hard because he has a lot of extenders on his list. Next, moving on, we have Snake Eyes from Prime Cruise. So yeah, Snake Eyes. This is a very interesting build also of Snake Eyes. Only plays 2 Bonfire. I think he opted to play more copies of Original to up his consistency for this deck, and yeah, plays the Diabellzy as well. So another tech for the Snake Eyes line of play. And yeah, I think his list is very neutralized towards the Snake Eyes and Sinful Spoils, and he doesn't want to run something like Parallel Exceed or something like Magician Souls. So he is content with his Snake Eyes line of play with more extenders from the Snake Eyes archetype. And on the side deck, it's really nice to see Typhoon on the side deck here. I think this card is very underrated. Most people are beginning to tech in this card on their side deck, and it can definitely surprise people off guard using this Typhoon. And next, moving on, we have Arcanium Hobbies uh, ranking tournament coming at third place. So they started with third place. So third place, we have Snake Eyes Finsmith. So this is the new variant of the Snake Eyes right now. Rather than the usual Snake Eyes build, it plays the Finsmith, which can definitely boost the ceiling of the deck. And also Finsmith is a one card combo going into Appaloosa, going into the Beatrice, but this list only plays Appaloosa. So he has options to make the Omni Negate fusion of Winsmith and also the Appaloosa, which can definitely help his board from getting protected from hand traps and other types of interruption. So really nice from Ruff. And we have second place Gobs Snake Eyes Centurion. So yeah, so this parades the new support of Centurion from the info, and it definitely worked on the deck, no? I think it's only a one-off, but it can definitely improve the resiliency of Centurion. And paired with Snake Eyes, the deck is more explosive. This doesn't run the usual floodgates of skill drain, summon limit, and things like Kaiser Colosseum. It focuses more on comboing off using the Centurion and Snake Eyes. And next we have El Lich, yeah, from Ramadan, yeah, El Lich first place. So yeah, very spicy, no? It plays the new type of Ash Blossom. They said, no, the trap card from Info, which locks you out from using far attribute cards and yeah, other attributes as well. But it's no problem for El Lich because it is only catered around light monsters, and you're pretty much safe to use this card. And yeah, it works really fine. Played Imperm as well, very interesting. So there's a bunch of trap cards on his deck, no? It played the Terrors, the Underroot, and only played uh, few floodgates or continuous traps, no? He most likely want to be more interactive with his trap cards, and yeah, with the Solemns, which are very strong because those are counter traps, of course. And on the extra deck, it's worth noting that he played the new Illusion Rabbit. I forgot the name of this Link monster, but yeah, it definitely can be generic for a Lich, and sometimes it comes up. But yeah, I would rather see other cards here. And yeah, played the Dark Imprisoning Mirror and Light Imprisoning Mirror on the side deck, which can be good against the Finsmith and also the Voiceless Voice, two of the more popular decks right now on the OCG metagame. And yeah, moving on, we have fourth place, Finsmith Ubel. So yeah, Finsmith definitely improved the Ubel. It's more explosive right now, much more congruent to have different plays, and also the Finsmith is also a one card that can turbo out something like Caesar. So Caesar is definitely a huge asset for your board that can help you negate special summons and also to be more fluid into going into Yama on this deck. So yeah, this is a very optimal list from Ewaldo. And moving on, we have casual weekly tournament from AW Twins Board Games Cafe. Yeah, we have first place here, Melodious. So Melodious has been getting traction on the TCG side of our world, no? Because people there are starting to realize that Ostinato is very broken. It's a one card pseudo branded fusion. So it can definitely give you so much advantages when you can resolve this card. And yeah, this is a very consistent deck of Melodious. You have a bunch of one card combos and definitely can be more of a controlling deck that sets up your minimal board and can definitely punish people if they don't know how to interact with your board. So yeah, it played types of floodgates like Rivalry and Summon Limit, which are very understandable because yeah, it definitely improves the going first of your Melodious. And next we have Kashtira. So this is a trap-oriented Kashtira, no? A more controlling version of the Kashtira. And yeah, played Trap Trick, Different Dimension Ground, Torrential Tribute, Metaverse with Necro Valley, very punishing. When you can go first, it can definitely stun people. Especially the format right now are quite graveyard-centric. They are going to be heavily punished by Necro Valley. And yeah, played 3 copies of Trust on the side deck just to search for the barrier and talent and evenly match. So yeah, very interesting list of Kashtira from William, controlling version of the deck. You don't see this quite often. And next we have Parking from Steven. So yeah, standard build of Parking, played the Volcanics on the main deck. I think you should definitely play Volcanics because you are losing copies of Ash and Wanted, and you definitely want to have cards to start your plays on this deck. And yeah, played Artifact Lancea no, on the side deck. I'm not really a fan of Artifact Lancea right now. I think the Lancea is not that really good on the format right now. But it can come up on some matchups like Fluandries and yeah, other decks that suffers from Lancea. But yeah, I would rather see Phantasmi or other cards here over the Lancea. Next we have Ubel, so it doesn't play the Fiendsmith, but it's more of a Fiend Link version of the Ubel. And played Bestials on the main deck, no? Very interesting, because you have Dark Monsters on your graveyard. You can easily access the Bestials, and very good as well against the Voiceless Voice. Strong card to stop the Saphira and Law from resolving. So yeah, I played Shifter as well, no? So very enticing because Shifter does hurt your deck as well. But yeah, I think he has plays to go around using the Shifter. And next, we have Monopolis board game store ranking tournament. We have first place here, we have Labyrinth. So Labyrinth with transaction rollback. So the recent popular version of Labyrinth in some areas in TCG are not running transaction rollback, mainly to the fact that Jesse Cotton played the Labyrinth on the YCS tournament without the rollback, and people are beginning to adapt it or copy it. But yeah, I think it's way ahead in Japan. That's been the case in Japan for 3-4 months already. Some people are cutting the transaction rollback. But for me, I think rollback has a place on Labyrinth. It can definitely be advantageous for the Labyrinth considering the fact that you play the areas and something like the trap trick. So yeah, it has a lot of upsides for the Labyrinth, but it's just preference, I guess. You could run the Labyrinth without rollback and play more other cards here like Nibiru or other hand traps. And played the Multichami on the side deck, no? I think Multichami is very strong for Labyrinth, especially you don't really have draw power that much on this deck, no? So you definitely have leeway for multi-chami to get you cards, draw you cards, and boost your advantages on your hand size. So yeah, next we have Farking Snake Eyes. So yeah, standard version of Farking. I just played the Mourner on the main deck and 2 copies of Volcanics. Very standard, no? I think 2 copies of Volcanics has been the norm for the Snake Eyes Farking right now. And I think most people are not running 3 copies of this card. It's just a 2 off right now. And on the side deck, played 3 Change of Heart, no? Change of Heart, very interesting, can be strong against the Finsmith decks. You snatch away their Nightmare Griffon sometimes, or Apollousa. And yeah, can definitely break boards on the format right now. And yeah, I think Change of Heart does have a very techy situation right now in the format, whether you run it to counter the best decks or not. I think it's up in the air if players are going to play this Change of Heart, because on some matchups it's a dead card. I would think so, because there's other decks that can set up Omni Negate and also a very powerful board just to stop this Change of Heart. And yeah, next we have Ubel Finsmith. So yeah, Finsmith again, once again boosting the Ubel. I definitely improves the Ubel by miles, and I think Finsmith as an engine is very strong. It's just a modern adventure engine, no? You have Omni Negate and you turbo out cards, and it's more better because it doesn't consume that much resources on your end, and it doesn't have a lot of bricks on it as well. So yeah, very strong right now. And next we have Melodious. So I guess it's the same list as earlier, no? Oh, it's fourth place, so it's different. And yeah, played Rivalry as well on the deck, and I think it's beginning to shape the standardized version of Melodious playing the Rivalry right now. Because before they're playing something like Extravagance or other Floodgates on the deck, but now it's just a Rivalry. And yeah, moving on, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Dava, Mindanao Gaming. We have Pod 2 of their ranking tournament. We have Voiceless Voice. So Voiceless Voice, a very solid list from Prime Cruise. It plays Anti-Spell Fragrance. I think it's my tech as well on my Voiceless Voice, because I run Voiceless Voice with Anti-Spell and Summon Limit on the main deck before. But now I have sold the core, so I'm using a different deck. But yeah, I think Anti-Spell can definitely improve your going first on this Voiceless Voice. Because sometimes the Sauravis and Sky Guardian is not enough to stop the decks from steamrolling you. Sometimes other decks just have too much gas to outpace your tempo or destroy your board. So yeah, Anti-Spell definitely helps your board intact on this Voiceless Voice. Next we have Tearlaments Paleozoic. What in Joshua's scheme is this? From Jeter Gaviola. So very spicy. He literally cooked with this deck. So yeah, Tearlaments, I think people are trying to cope on different engines, different builds, different strategies for the Tearlaments to make it work, because Tearlaments, as we all know, have been top really strong tier deck before, and people are really trying to do everything what they can to make the deck more playable and competitive right now on the modern format. And yeah, Tier Elements as a deck is never ending, I guess, because there are just too many ways to make the deck work. And yeah, I think Paleozoic is one of these uh, gimmicky traits that you can make the deck work right now. And yeah, next we have my tier list for the OCG Metagame Philippines tier list metagame, and yeah, it's from the second week of May, and there's a different video for this, but yeah, let's just skim past this tier list right now. Of course, Tenpai is the most rep deck in our Philippines metagame. Next we have Duel Bacolod Infinite Forbidden Tournament. We have top 8 decks here. We have first place Unchained from John Alfred Go. I assume, yeah, he's been a very phenomenal player for this Unchained and Fiend Link. So yeah, I played Droplet, no, very strong right now in the format. Very strong against Voiceless Voice. Can be decently good against Finsmith, and can be okay against Snake Eyes. So yeah, Droplet definitely have so much potential right now in the format, especially on the right deck when you can discard cards for your Droplet and you are not that much bothered on discarding cards, I think Droplet is the way to go right now. Next we have Centurion Whitewoods. Yeah, with Whitewoods, definitely improving the Centurion by some millage, no? Because Centurion as a deck feels slow sometimes. It definitely feels slow on certain occasions, but with Whitewoods, you are much more faster. But I don't think that it's better than the toy box engine of Whitewoods. I think this deck has some advantages, but yeah, I think it's not as explosive as the toy box engine. But yeah, it definitely improves the Centurion. You have much more better resiliency on this deck, and yeah, you can also play a lot of various hand traps for this deck to work. And next we have Vanquish Shoal. Yeah, standard version of Vanquish Shoal, no? Played one-offs of Phantasmi, Ghost Bell, Kurikara, Diddy Crow, and Nibiru, and the Dogoran Kaiju. So yeah, a lot of reveal targets on his hand. So yeah, improve the reveal shenanigans of the Vanquishol, and yeah, I think it's important because you need to have cards to reveal on your hand. Most of the time, you just want to entrap your opponent and stop them from doing their thing. And next, uh, we have Prank Kids from Leven Ubas. Yeah, I assume. So yeah, Prank Kids with without Sprite, because before he is playing Prank Kids with Sprite, but now it's a pure raw version of Prank Kids with hand traps and controlling cards like Skill Drain and Solemn Strike. Really well executed from this player. And yeah, played Prank Kids as a one card combo, of course. You can definitely go into your Butler most of the time, and you just Raigeki, double Raigeki your opponent, and suit your deck with hand traps to stop the opponent from playing the game. And it's very nice to see Cosmic Cyclone on this main deck, because Cosmic Cyclone can definitely catch people off guard on the main deck, as we have saw on the Japanese YCS before. It definitely catch a lot of decks off guard, like Voiceless Voice, Tenpai, and the other decks literally struggled around Cosmic Cyclone on the main deck, which is very good right now in the format. Next we have Spiral, Sinful Spoils. So this is a very explosive combo deck. Uh, you just set up your Griffon, your something like Appaloosa, and Trigate Wizard, and yeah, it's very strong right now. If your opponent doesn't have too much hand traps on their hand, they can definitely be overwhelmed from the gas of Spiral. And you played the Gamma Delta package on the side deck, which can be very strong against the best decks, like Voiceless Voice and Snake Eyes, of course. And next, we have Horus Eldritch. So yeah, Eldritch again, once again, I think people are trying to pick up Eldritch right now, because uh, Eldritch is one of the most comfortable decks to play, no? You don't really need to invest too much time thinking with your plays. You just use your floodgates, and of course, your Eldritch beatdown would be immense once you control the match already, paired with border, of course. But on this build, I played hand traps, no, because maybe he played Horus, so he don't want to rely too much on floodgates, but he still plays floodgates on this list, like Mistake, which is very strong right now in the format. Once you flip Mistake, I think most decks like Voiceless Voice, Snake Eyes, and even Tenpai can definitely struggle around Mistake. And very underrated floodgate right now. And next we have Mementotlan. So yeah, Mementotlan are gaining traction recently from the OCG player base, and I think it's deserving, because this deck have been overlooked too much, no? I think people have often regarded this deck as trash or garbage, or definitely underperformed. But now it's different. They have gotten the support from Info, and the deck is one of the top tier decks on the format. You just struggle way too much against Maxi. But yeah, I think you have a lot of ways for this deck to make it work, no? The deck has a lot of disruptions, interruptions, and also fairly consistent as well. So yeah, I think Mementotlan is a deck that you should look out for right now. And yeah, moving on. Next, we have Duelo Iloilo ranking tournament. We have Y2K Natsukon qualifiers tournament, no? We have first place Tenpai, so it played only one Dora Draco. A very interesting choice from Jan Christian Bedia. I think I would rather see Dora Draco over Biden, or yeah, I forgot the name. TCG definitely changed the name of this White Dragon right now. I just forgot it. And yeah, I think Dora Draco should be 2 or 3 off on the modern 10 pie list. And I think it could work with 3 uh, Pydra right now. But yeah, I think I would often want to see Dora Draco on certain occasions. But I think he has logic on this build, that he just wants to see the field spell as often as possible, because field spell is definitely a card that definitely protects your 10 pie dragon from getting Wailered, impermed on the main phase, so it's very uh, useful on your setup, especially on main phase. But yeah, on this list, it played a lot of board breakers on the main deck. It doesn't focus too much on hand traps. He only played 2 copies of Ash, Maxi, and Veiler, and played Raigeki, Lightning Storm, Duster, and Heavy Storm. And Called by the Grave, I have a friend, shoutouts to you, Jude. He always said that Called by the Grave is very unexpected from Tenpai. Once you Called by the Grave on the right time against Tenpai, they can definitely suffer on it too much. And I think they don't have really good comebacks when they can get Called by the Grave. And yeah, I think it's very spicy here because the Philippines metagame is very much congested by Tenpai Dragon, and Called by the Grave can definitely surprise the mirror match on our locals. And next we have Finsmith, Live Twin Unchained. Wow, very spicy from Court Fox. So yeah, you contour both Yama as soon as possible on this list because you have a lot of Fiend monsters that can link climb effectively. And of course, Unchained giving you so much grind game potential. With this Unchained, you are literally going to have the best time on grind games. And with Live Twin, you are pretty much going to do consistent plays on your first turn. And yeah, I think this list is overall solid, very solid. It's just a mashup of the best Fiend archetypes right now available on the format to supplement the Fiendsmith. And next we have Whitewood's Horus from John Michael Vicente, and I think this is the more popular version of Whitewoods in the Philippines with Horus because it's much more budget, no? In a sense that you don't need to spend on toy box engine, which is very expensive right now. So Whitewoods a very strong archetype right off the bat, no? It will definitely be stronger because it's an archetype lore deck, so expect that it will get more support from the Sinful Spoils engine and storyline. So yeah, moving on, we have Duelist Stepian Report GT weekly tournament. We have first place champion Lightsworn. So Lightsworn have been overlooked, no, from the Lede. Most people are ditching the Lightsworn now to other decks, no, because other decks are just better. But we cannot deny the fact that Lightsworn is explosive as well. It's like three elements, but much more combo oriented and much more linear into milling cards rather than the tier elements that has a lot of avenues to play around different scenarios and plays. So yeah, Lightsworn with Horus, it just makes sense, no? With the Horus turboing out Zombie Vampire to boost your milling potential on this Lightsworn. And yeah, you played also copies of Keldo and Mudura. Those are just literally good cards on the format right now, being able to shuffle the graveyard of your opponent. And next we have Whitewoods Runic. So another Whitewoods, no? So Whitewoods have been gaining traction recently. And yeah, I think it will continue to do so because people are starting to realize how good is Whitewoods right now. But now with Runic, I think it's a very different take. It's like a Synchro Runic or Bestial Runic, no? You just use your comboing of cards to make something like Barone, or yeah, on this list it played Shen. Even Shen is accessible on this deck. So Shen, a very powerful card going first. You stop the graveyard on most of the decks right now, like Finsmith, Snake Eyes, Fire King, and even Voiceless Voice. So yeah, Shen is very strong. And on this list, it played Runic. Of course, it can have the ability to deck out the opponent once they reach to a point that their main deck is only 20 pieces or 15. So yeah, they would definitely be decked out from Runic if they would be stalled from this deck from Yusuf. Next we have Voiceless Banco Shoal from Bintang. So yeah, Banco Shoal with Small World, no? So it's just another card to fetch cards for the Banco Shoal reveal and also to boost the consistency. And yeah, I think it's very reasonable, no? You just want to go into your Raisin very much often, and it's the bread and butter of the deck. Raisin will be definitely consistent on this build with the triple Small World. And yeah, next we have from that same tournament on different date we have uh, champion Salaman Great. So Salaman Great have been falling off the ranks on the metagame tier list in Japan, and for me Salaman Great right now is just a rogue deck, but I think it's in the high pecking order of the top rogue decks right now, and I think the deck is still good, no? It's just a very good deck to access out the Promethean, and of course Raging Phoenix very immense for the Salaman Great. And yeah, you have hand traps like Veiler and Droll, Imperm, just to stop the opponent from playing the game on uh, turn 1, and you just OTK the opponent from the next turn. So one card combo from the Salaman Great, Lady Debug, Salaman Great of Fire, and yeah, bunch of starters for the Salaman Great. It's an overall consistent mid-range deck that can definitely give you so much wins once you started to master the deck. And next we have anti-meta, so the good old meta beat. And yeah, it played the Waterbury State U, very good call because there's no water relevant decks right now in the format. No, there's no literally water decks that are going to dominate you right now. And played Jogen, Pachi, and played Yatagarasu. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I played Ecclesia as well. Very good card right now because you can access out the Ecclesia consistently with the Nadir Servant, and you also get to draw one from the Garura dump from the Nadir Servant. And yeah, overall very consistent. You add so much card advantages once you have drawn the Nadir Servant. You get Ecclesia, you get the punishment, and yeah, you also get to draw one from the Garura. So it's plus 3 from one Nadir Servant. And next we have Yubel Unchained. So another Yubel, no? With Regeki on the main deck and Feather Duster and Heavy Storm. So I think it's just a meta call for him because his opponents are playing back row like the Funko Shoal with There Can Be Only One and also the meta beat as well. And yeah, I think Heavy Storm and Duster are very strong right now once you can be able to play this on the main deck. I think it can definitely surprise people when you went second. And on the side deck, he only played 8 cards. Maybe it's decklist error or it's just the way it is. And next we have 4th place, Melodious. So Melodious with Multichami, no, very interesting. I think I would rather see Droll on the main deck here or Veiler, yeah. He doesn't play Veiler, but his preference would go into Multichami, which can give him cards and draws from this Multichami. But yeah, it totally depends on the matchup spread on your locals. And moving on, next we have Evo Community League Season Tournament. We have first place here, we have Abyss Actor, no? So Abyss Actor, what can I say about this deck? I don't know how this deck functions, to be honest. But yeah, it's just another pendulum deck that is quite explosive, and you end up on something like IP Mascarena, I guess. So you can go into SP Little Knight or Nightmare Unicorn. And yeah, moving on, we have Snake Eyes. And Jai played the Synchron package, but he doesn't run Synchro monsters on his extra deck. Very interesting. And yeah, like I've said earlier, some Snake Eyes are opting to play Magician Souls, which can definitely boost the consistency of the deck. And yeah, I think a lot of people are discrediting Magician Soul too much on Snake Eyes. I think it's one of the better cards that you can play on the deck as up your Snake Eyes Sinful Spoils deck. And yeah, played anti-spell right now on the side deck, which is very effective just to stop the meta decks right now in the format. Things like Voiceless Voice, Tenpai, even tier 3 Runic would struggle definitely on anti-spell Fragrance. And next we have Dynamorphia, no? So another stand deck. We do have a lot of control and stand decks right now on our report, no? We have Eldish, now we have Dynamorphia. So yeah, Dynamorphia, just another floodgate deck. You just auto lose to Rex turn once you don't have outs to this deck. And yeah, we have Salaman Great here with Kaiser Colosseum. The previous Salaman Great doesn't run Kaiser, but now I have saw Kaiser, and I think it's the way to go for Salaman Great. Once you set up your board with Kaiser, I think it's game over for your opponent. And yeah, moving on, we have Duelist Deata ranking tournament. We have first place, yeah, first place champion Trap Tricks. So Trap Tricks with Parallel Exceed, no? So you use the Parallel Exceed to fetch something like Paguska for you, and Paguska is definitely one of the stronger cards that you can dish out when you go first, and also can be able to go into IP Mascarena, which can lead into SP Little Knight and gives you more interruptions. And yeah, on the side deck played Shifter. Of course, you're playing Trap Tricks, you should definitely try out playing Shifter to stop the decks. And yeah, overall solid deck from Eka. And next we have Vanquishol with Snake Eyes. Yeah, Vanquishol with Snake Eyes. I think most people are getting this idea from Master Duel because there's a lot of Master Duel lists that are tapping using Vanquishol and Snake Eyes right now. And on the side deck, he pretty much focus on going first with Dimensional Barrier and Anti-Spell Fragrance on his disposal. And next we have another Dynamorphia, no? So this is the second Dynamorphia, and this time it played more Floodgates and control cards on the main deck rather than hand traps. Played Judgment, Anti-Spell. Once you set up your Anti-Spell paired with Judgment and Rexstorm, I think there's no decks that can stop you from being able to win the game and close it out. So yeah, on the side deck it played the Thunder Hammer, yeah, Iron Thunder Hammer, or forgot the name. But yeah, it's also a pseudo solemn judgment and just another way to trim your life points on this Dynamorphia. And next we have fourth place Illusionist Chimera. So it played Sharon, no? Very spicy. So I wonder why he played Sharon. Maybe he just wants to discard cards on this list. I think you could definitely do that with the Horus, but he just wants to save space for hand traps and other tech cards on his list. And yeah, moving on, we have Time Walk ranking tournament. We have first place. Wow, Kashtira Voiceless Voice. Very insane. So yeah, what is this? You use your normal summon for the law, of course, and you just use your Kashtira cards to turbo out something like Arise Heart, no? So yeah, Skull Guardian with Arise Heart. Yeah, it's very terrifying. I wouldn't really go against that board once I have saw it. So yeah, it could definitely work because you don't really use your normal summon too much, and also Kashtira is just free bodies on your field. You can definitely be more uh, punishing once you go first, and the problem would be you don't have good utility cards on this deck because you're only playing 2 Ash, 2 Maxi, and no Veilers, and 1 Roll only. So, yeah, you are losing too much utility and interactions with the hand traps. And next we have Naturia Horus, no? So, yeah, Naturia Horus, just another deck to turbo out Naturia Beast, which is very insane on the format right now. I think 40%, sometimes 50% of the main deck are run by spell cards. So yeah, I think Natura Beast can definitely give you so much advantages against the best decks right now. And also played Lava Golem, very strong card for this deck because you don't really expend your uh, normal summon too much. So Lava Golem is definitely good here. And next we have Voiceless Voice, another Voiceless Voice and more standardized version. So we are seeing less of Voiceless Voice right now, no? We don't see too much Voiceless Voice on our report right now, unlike the reports from before, which are literally flooded by Voiceless Voice. But yeah, I think Voiceless Voice is getting lower and lower in our tier list, and other decks are just getting better. And next we have Whitewood Centurion with main monsters of Centurion na only one Primera and one Trudea, I think it's just the right amount of engine for these White Woods just to be able to access out your Centurion plays with the Legacia on your board, being able to summon out the Blazar and yeah, the Arcoela of course, which can protect your floodgates and back row. And next we have KGS Card Shop Tournament. We have uh, Millennium Whitewood, so it's just another engine to make Whitewoods functional with this Millennium. And yeah, I think Millennium have been seeing play as well on Snake Eyes and other decks, no? I think people are trying to experiment with the Millennium. As the time passes by, I think more and more people are getting attracted for playing this Millennium engine. But I think there's a lot of downsides or uh, recoils from this engine because you're losing too much life points and it's very rough on game 3, and especially with the new time rules that can be applied on new tournaments and other locals right now from the recent report of Japanese tournament guidelines. I think it's definitely hard to play decks that are losing life points on your end, and I think it's a very concerning factor for this Millennium engine. But yeah, it can give you so much advantages as well on the process. And yeah, next we have Order of Duelists in Albai, ranking tournament. We have first place, champion 10 Pi. So yeah, I played Phantasmi and Magnamut on the main deck. Those are two dragons as well, can be free bodies on your board. And of course, Magnamut is very strong against Voiceless Voice. And his list is probably playing around Voiceless Voice now because it played Droplet, Bell, and Droll, of course. Those are very strong cards against Voiceless Voice, and Voiceless Voice is one of the most represented decks in our Philippines metagame as well. So yeah, I wouldn't blame him to prepare against Voiceless Voice. And Regeki as well on the main deck, just another one card wipe card on his list. And next we have Snake Eyes, Diabel Star from Patrick Burton. So yeah, very powerful player from Albai. And yeah, on his list it played double talent. I think talent is very much used on the format right now because there's a lot of hand traps going around, especially against the Tenpai. Of course, the half of the deck are consistent of hand traps, so you're going to have free time on playing talent, which can definitely answer the Tenpai. And next we have Ubel Unchained from Mark Stephen. So yeah, another Ubel, so nothing too extravagant, just standard ratio of Unchained Ubel, and yeah, bunch of hand traps with Forbidden Droplet. And yeah, he didn't reveal the side deck of his deck. And next we have third place Tenpai, so another Tenpai, so this time with Pancrataps on the main deck, which can be good against floodgating effects and floodgate control of your opponent. Pancrataps is a one card that can deal against those type of floodgating effects. And yeah, Pancrataps can also beat down something like Winda and other problematic floodgating monsters on the board. And it played if there's a will, there's a way out, no? Very interesting because it's been getting power crept by other cards on the main deck of Tenpai. And yeah, I think there's a better card to play over this one, but it can definitely work, no? Sometimes you just want to draw cards for this Tenpai. And next, we have Bandong Dubilis Banlist Tournament. We have first place Whitewoods Manadium. So wow, looking at this deck, it's very explosive, no? You're just going to have uh, consistently playing out the Dispater, the Barone, the Dragons on your extra deck, and yeah, very explosive deck going first, and with Visas and Manadium, it could definitely give you so much combos and lines to play on this deck. And yeah, I played the uh, level 10 of 10 Pi on the extra deck. Very interesting. Maybe he wants to access this card so that his opponents cannot respond to him on the battle phase. So yeah, moving on, we have Fluandris from Ryan. So yeah, Fluandris is just overall decent deck, no? No matter what format it is, I think Fluandris will just be present all the time because the deck is adaptive on different meta and different occasions, and the deck is uh, easy to use as well. You don't need to think too much and use your brain power on playing this deck. And also I played Patchy on the main deck, which can be paired with your M-Pen, normal summon, and you literally win the game from that moment once you set up the M-Pen and Patchy. And yeah, on the side deck, it played a lot of going first cards, no? Featherstorm, Judgment, The Barrier, and Rivalry. I think he just wants to win the games that he goes first. And yeah, I think it's the correct approach for Fluandris right now because the deck doesn't really have good tools to go second, and you are going to rely on hand traps, which in this case is it doesn't play too much hand traps on the main deck. He only played Shifter, Maxi, and Imperm. And yeah, I think very solid list from Ryan. Next, we have Mementotlan. So, another Mementotlan on this report. We have only 13 cards on the side deck now, but yeah, there can be only one is also phenomenal for this Mementotlan. Once you set up the board with there can be only one, you're pretty much going to guaranteed to win the game. And on the extra deck, it played Avramax, no? Very interesting. Maybe he has ways to go into Avramax, or he is using his IP going into Avramax because most decks cannot answer Avramax if they are not running the Saros or the Underworld Goddess. So yeah, I think there's a logic to play Avramax right now. Next we have Whitewood Centurion. I think it's the same as earlier, yeah. It's the same as earlier. And yeah, it sums up our report for this Uncrowned Kings local metagame report video. So once again, thank you for watching. If you have time, you can visit our Facebook page and drop a like and follow on this page. And thank you for your continued patronage on our YouTube channel. So once again, thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.